Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Make Me Smart, where we make today make sense.
Hello, I'm Rima Jerez. Thank you for joining us on the podcast and the YouTube live stream on this Friday, June 13th. Geez, I did not realize that. We're
That's
topping off
right.
the week with a little Economics on Tap, which is our weekly happy hour episode.
Yes, and I am here. I know it's a little bit noisy. The audio and video may go in and out, but that is because I am recording to you from the Truman Lounge in the National Press Club here in Washington, D.C., because I'm going out with my girlfriends later, and I was trying to be close to where we had to go. But anyway, here at the National Press Club, it's Friday night. They have a happy hour here, too. It's taco night at the Press Club. And
Ooh, that's
so
fun.
yes, so we've had our tacos. I've got my National Press Club
I
branded
love it.
wine
Love
that I'm
it.
having. And yeah, it's a good time. So we are going to do some news. We are going to play a game. But of course, before we do all of that, we got to do some drinks.
Let's do some
So,
drinks.
Rima, you know what I've got. What do you have?
Yes. Well, first of all, do you remember when we hung out there? I think like 5 years ago now, when I was in DC.
I
It's a good
do. I
memory.
do.
Yeah, it's a cool space. It's a
Yeah.
really cool space. Okay, so what I'm drinking, was I was trying to be a little bit experimental and try to see if I could make a drink out of things in my garden. So I made a simple syrup of water and sugar, and then I added lemon balm
Mm,
and mint, and it didn't taste quite right. So then I added some raspberries, and I'm pleased with it. It's good. Uh,
that's amazing. I
mhm.
um did a lemon balm cocktail last year with lemon
Ooh,
balm from my garden, and I
really?
think it
This is
turned
my
out.
first time.
Yeah, I think it turned out really well. And so lemon balm is a great ingredient.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me go over to the
Let's
chat
see. What are
and
folks
see
drinking?
what folks are drinking. It's going to take me a second because I'm over here on my iPad looking at stuff.
Hi, folks. Oh my gosh, so many people. Passion fruit juice and rum, Crown and Diet Dr. Pepper.
Hmm. Let's see. Maker's Mark 46 cast strength bourbon. Okay, Chuck. Um, Rob Gallardo has a cool glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Love it.
Mhm, mhm.
Stephanie really likes you making a drink from what's in your garden. Let's see. Ooh, Stephanie Moore Fuller has peach oolong tea from Just Iced Tea.
That's tasty.
Ooh, Uday has masala chai. That sounds nice and morning.
Did you make the masala chai? I love a good chai.
Yeah, yeah. And then somebody's got the water bottle at the gym. You know what? At least you're exercising. Good
Right?
on you.
Good for you. On a Friday, you're exercising? That's amazing.
Love it.
Admirable.
All right. So, Rima, what you got for news?
All right, what are we talking about today? So I saw an article in the Atlantic titled Baby Boomers' Luck is Running Out. And it got me thinking about some of the things that have been floating in my mind about the baby boomer generation more generally, and how things are going for them and how things might shake out for them given everything going on in the economy. And so the article gets at some of these ideas of how a lot of the proposed policy changes and general whiplash in the markets could make things particularly harder for them. And people like to joke that the baby boomer generation was lucky and had it pretty good. And yeah, like it is a bit reductive, but there is truth in the fact that college was more affordable for them. They graduated into a strong job market. Many of them were able to buy homes before prices skyrocketed. So this article made the argument that after so much good fortune, they might be in a particularly vulnerable position right now. And it lays out a few reasons. Retirement savings aren't as secure. Longer term care is harder to count on. And for the first time, even Social Security doesn't feel like a sure thing. So, on the markets piece, obviously, after the tariffs were announced in April, there was just a lot of panic when we saw the markets take a dive. They've since bounced back, but it's scary. It's scary watching your savings dip like that when you're nearing retirement. And who knows if it'll happen again, if it'll recover the next time. And then in terms of longer term care, I will get more into this next week, but under the reconciliation bill as it stands, there would be massive cuts to Medicaid. Right now, more than 7 million low income seniors rely on Medicaid for health coverage and care. And a big chunk of nursing home residents have their care paid for through Medicaid. So if
Mhm.
these cuts go through, states might respond by tightening eligibility or reducing benefits. And because the bill would also shift more of that cost to the states, some of them might scale back on the services that are not required to provide under Medicaid, things like home care. And, we were talking about this earlier, you flagged it on Slack, which is that a lot of the costs, just generally the article makes this point, and which is true, which is that a lot of the costs boomers thought were stable are no longer fixed, right? Like, even if you look at home costs, if you have a 30-year fixed mortgage, you're still seeing property taxes going up, homeowners insurance, especially if you live in a place affected by climate change. So from that generation's perspective, they may have benefited from a different economic era, but the ground is shifting beneath them right now. And a lot of the safety nets they counted on are starting to look a lot less safe. And
yeah, and it's interesting because also immigration is a huge part of this, right? Because we have all of these immigration crackdowns, and a huge part of the labor force of caring for our elders in America, especially aging baby boomers, are immigrants and immigrant workforces. I remember almost a decade ago, more than a decade ago, one of my best friends who used to be an LPN, but literally left that workforce because it was just so hard and so low paid and very little sort of opportunity for growth in that space. And I guess I can't say this on the radio, but she said, for all of the people who are complaining about immigrants, who is going to wipe your grandmother's fill in the blank? And she says, unless
not wrong.
And she was like, unless you plan on doing it, you might want to be a little bit more open to people coming here from outside the country who are willing to do care work in particular. And until we get to a situation where we're paying care workers a more livable wage, until we get to a situation where we're respecting care workers more, if you want to crack down on immigrants and all these other things, and let me pause here to say that the immigrant contribution to the labor force is not the reason that we should be giving immigrants human rights.
Right.
People deserve human rights regardless of their economic contribution to this country. People deserve due process regardless of whether or not they're raising our GDP. But from that economic perspective, there's also that part of it for when it comes to boomers in particular. Speaking of the reconciliation bill, there was a new CBO analysis that found that reconciliation bill, and we've been doing a ton of coverage on this on all of our marketplace shows, which I encourage folks to go and listen to. The newest CBO analysis says that reconciliation bill is going to cost the poorest households in America $1,600 a year and boost the richest households by $12,000 a year.
Wow. Say that one more time. So poorest Americans would lose $1,600 a year under this package.
Yeah, and that comes from a combination of cuts to Medicaid, as you mentioned, cuts to SNAP benefits, as you mentioned, a rollback in other services. There's all of these sort of perks in the bill that are supposed to be targeted to low-income Americans, and a lot of low-income Americans won't see any benefit from it because they already don't owe federal taxes, and because these tax credits are not refundable, they actually don't get much benefit from it. And so, it's
startling.
Is it though?
Is it? I mean, no.
Okay. Anyway,
I mean, it's just but when you put those numbers next to each other, right? It's like $1,600 for someone who's low income. That's groceries, that's medicine, that's rent, that's essential money. It's not discretionary. Whereas $12,000 for someone who's wealthy, that goes into savings. That's investing. That's for a future generation, right?
It's a vacation.
It's a vacation.
Anyway, I'm going to use this moment to pause and say that once again, we are going to spend most of next week talking about the reconciliation package. It's a big piece of legislation. So if any of you all have questions about it, please send those in to us. We're already going through the questions you've sent in. Thank you to everybody who's written in already. But if you have a question about any component of it, whether what it means for seniors, what it means for immigrants, because there's a lot of stuff in there about the immigrant population, changing the way that some tax policies apply to people depending on your immigration status. Anything else, clean energy credits, let us know. You know the numbers to get at us. So thank you for that news. Let us take a bit of a break. And then when we come back, we are going to play a game.
Let's do it.
It's your turn, Rima.
All right, it is my turn. Let's see. All right, it is game time. Drew Jostad is here to host a round of half full, half empty. Hello, Drew.
First up, hey Rima. All right, first up this week, are you familiar with Laboo toys?
This is
No?
This has been weirdly coming across my timeline. It's some like weird, not weird. Let me not yuck somebody else's yum. This is some, it's a toy. As I understand it, I think it's like rabbit-like that has been
Oh,
very
Yeah.
popular in a Beanie Baby type style. And then somebody sold something at an auction for a lot of money. Help me out here, Drew.
It's sort of a creepy looking rabbit with a toothy grin on its face.
Oh my
It comes from a
gosh.
2015 picture book series, but it's been licensed to a Chinese toy company called Pop Mart. If you're lucky enough to grab one before they go out of stock, you can get a keychain Labubu for about $28. A doll's gonna run you over 100, and then the bigger and
What?
more special they get, they can get up into the thousands. The auction Kimberly's referring to, I think, was over 100 grand. Um,
No.
Pretty popular to buy these on TikTok live streams. They come in blind boxes, so you don't know specifically which one you're gonna get. But are you half full or half empty?
I'm gonna say half empty. I'm not trying to spend $28 on a keychain or $100 on a doll. Um, you look like you're deliberating.
I'm going to go half full because I am half full on people spending their discretionary income on what they want to spend it on and supporting the arts in whatever kind of manifestation it's going to be.
That's real. I don't
Moving on.
know.
I strongly disagree.
No. I'm also inclusive. I support people wanting to do what they want to do and spending their money how they want to spend their money, but I'm not trying to do it.
All right, what's next, Drew?
All right, we're gonna stay toy adjacent here. Are you half full or half empty on the booming sales of the Nintendo Switch 2?
Oh, are you a
Sold
gamer?
3.5 million units in 4 days, the fastest selling Nintendo console ever.
I am not a gamer, although I have mad respect for gamers. And
Yeah.
I feel like, and David Brancaccio on our morning show is great about this. I feel like as economic journalists, we need to be paying more attention to the gaming industry because it's
I
bigger than
know.
the movie industry, bigger than the TV industry. And like people spend a lot of their time and money on games. I am half full on the Nintendo Switch sales because I feel like this is the reason that a decent chunk of America knows about tariffs.
That's a good one. But what's the difference? Does anyone know? I'm looking at the chat. I do have a Nintendo Switch and I play it, but I'm not enough of a gamer to know if I should upgrade or not. Um,
I'm sure it's like stronger graphics and better processing speed and maybe storage space. I don't know, all those things. You
yeah.
can play fancier games.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do half full. As Jefferson said, it's for the kids in the chat.
And the adults who are kids at heart. What's the next one,
Exactly.
Drew?
Next one comes from a feature in the New York Times where the reporter attended the 9th annual Fine Waters Taste Awards and profiles water sommeliers and talks about all of the premium brands of natural water. Are you half full or half empty on fine water?
Hmm. I do love a good blind taste test, which it feels like it's in that realm of things. I I don't know. But I'm more in half empty land. It does feel like a kind of elitist, borderline, maybe. Yeah.
I'm gonna go half empty. I don't like anything that sort of places additional barriers or like parameters on water.
On water and essential.
Although, as I'm thinking about it, given the rollback of certain federal agencies that are responsible for maintaining the cleanliness of our water, we might be relying on folks with a particular palate for sensing various things in our water supply, more so than in the past. So, I'm switching it half full.
Oh.
Get those taste buds lined up so we can rely on you in the future. What's next, Drew?
Next up is the poll.
All right, folks,
All right.
in the YouTube
Give us
chat,
your opinions.
Yeah.
Everyone says
share
it's just
what-
water, drink it, half empty. I agree. We should not commodify water.
Okay, this last one is a bit tricky. It's not as lighthearted as the rest. Are you half full or half empty on free speech rights for AI chatbots?
Oh,
Wasn't
They
there
say-
a case about this, Drew?
yeah. Can you say more?
Yeah. So the story comes from a Marketplace Tech episode this week
That's what-
regarding a wrongful death lawsuit filed against
Oh,
Character
yeah.
AI and Google. And part of the claim made by the companies was that they had First Amendment rights that needed to
Wow.
be taken into consideration. The judge has rejected that claim for now. So that's the status of the case.
If I recall this story correctly, someone who later died by suicide was chatting with an AI chatbot, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's correct. It's a
And-
wrongful death lawsuit.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
regarding a suicide.
And so they're trying to assess whether or not that AI chatbot and the companies that create them have liability if they're feeding someone information that feeds into what's already a negative spiral. It's a really serious situation, especially as so many more people are relying on AI chatbots for emotional support, for company, especially if they're feeling lonely, and sometimes even like low-level therapy, or sometimes high-level therapy, unfortunately, when they're not
Yeah.
designed for that. I was at a seminar last weekend and they were talking about the differences between the different types of AI, and a lot of these tools like ChatGPT are just designed to predict what word comes next based on what the internet says what should come next. It's not thinking about what your question is or what the answer is or what is the truth. It's just based on the internet, what word comes next, what series of words comes next. And that is not a way to get mental health care. So I am going to go ahead and say that I am what was the question again? Let me make sure I'm phrasing it right.
Free speech rights for AI chatbots.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
No, it's like, no question, all the way half empty. I mean, there's just too many real world risks, defamation, misinformation, dangerous advice, manipulation. It's too messy. We can't even entertain that. That's how I feel.
All right. We've got the poll results, and I think that the vast majority of people agree with us. Half empty, 95%, half full, just 4%. Yeah. All right. That 4%, I respect
speak
your
up.
opinion, but
Tell us. I want to know what you're thinking. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Whew, boy,
all right. Chatbots are party tricks on a giant scale, says Jen Pick. Rather. All right, that is all for today. Don't forget, if you want to send us questions about the reconciliation bill, you can email us at makemesmart@marketplace.org or leave us a voicemail at 508-UB-SMART. Please let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah, dance this part, Rima.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that I'm on video. Oh my gosh.
Make Me Smart is produced by Courtney Bergsteger. Today's episode was engineered by Jake Cherry.
Oh no, where do my credits go? Sorry, y'all.
The team behind our Friday game is Emily McCune, Jamila Huxtable, and Antoinette Brock. Daisy Palacios is our supervising senior producer. Nancy Fargali is executive producer of Marketplace Shows. And Joanne Griffith is our chief content officer. And things are getting popping here at the National Press Club.
Y'all about to go to a comedy show, have some fun?
About to have my Friday night get going.
Nice.